And now for our feature presentation.
This is great because on the back it actually says this film is also known as
the I'll Watch It Later podcast.
You never heard of that film?
And now, on with the show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to I'll Watch It Later podcast where we lie about the movies we've seen to impress our friends. As always, I'm Aaron, joined by my best friend and joined by my best friend, an all-around good guy, doesn't know how to draft a football, Jordan.
I think my team's pretty solid this
Well,
year. Thank
you
you.
always
Hi,
think
everybody.
You
No,
always
last
think
year
that.
my team was garbage. This year, I had to struggle last year to at least try to get up there. But this year,
And
I
then
have some hopes.
I'm also joined by my brother-in-law, producer, and guy who
Foundler.
is just like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm going to make it, or I'm just whatever. Arizona's going to go all the
Still
way.
got here before him.
Scott, you didn't. You made it here because
Before
you
you.
knew I was going to another draft.
Yeah.
I invited you to the other draft.
So here's so you want to hear the conversation this morning?
Please, I love it.
So Aaron is like, "Are you gonna make it back?" And I'm like, "I'll make it there. I just don't know when I'm leaving." He's like, "I think you're gonna be late. Hey, can you stop in Rock Springs and get me a brownie?"
Yeah, did you?
No, because I was in traffic for 45 minutes waiting on a stupid accident to clear on the 17th.
Weren't you just at
By
Rock
the way,
Springs?
Arizona.
I was going to say, weren't you just there?
I want
Yes.
another brownie because I had never had their brownies before.
You know what? To be fair, I've never had the brownies.
Dude.
I always get their pie.
Yeah, I got their pie,
I-
but I saw the brownie sitting there, and I was like, I could eat a brownie.
Okay, so well then this is the real crux of this whole conversation. What kind of pie did you get?
Oh, mixed berry is my favorite.
Really? Okay, I got the. I always get the bourbon pecan.
I mean,
Fuck, it's so good.
no,
Yes, it's good.
it's it
I'm not saying yours is bad. It's just
No,
that's the
I'm
one I
saying
get.
you
It's
get
just so
that.
fucking good.
during the holidays.
No, you get that when you stop at Rock
No,
Springs.
you don't. You get.
Considering where I live, there's no chance I get to Rock Springs more than once a year. So
You
trust
should
me,
go do a show up there.
I would do it.
a snack show.
a pie show. We just eat all their pie.
because I've had all their pie.
Boom, ba, ba, boom, ba, ba, boom.
I can barely hear you.
Is that the blueberry
I'm there.
incident in?
I can.
Stand
I know
by me?
I know you're there, but I can barely hear you.
Let me produce.
Okay, you sound like how it sounds. Like I can
The
hear me
level's
in my headphones,
Yeah.
but you sound like I hear you talking from over there.
I don't know what your deal is.
All right.
I'm looking at the levels, and we are good to go.
So
Cool guys.
I spent all day running around town doing drafts, fucking, hosting drafts, playing poker with the most hostile people on the planet, and
I wish you were kidding.
we are doing this show very late. So if the energy is low, that's why.
No, we're bringing the energy.
But I'm gonna-
10:50 p.m. We did this on the way back from a fucking
We did.
LA show.
I
think
know.
we can handle this late.
I am tired. I kept lying to Crab, but I'm exhausted.
It was a
No, you could stay.
day of me driving and poker
That was
and
your
fantasy
choice.
football drafts and
a lot of-
accidents.
it's a lot to
and-
do.
Yeah, so it's kind of just everything's been very rushed
That was your choice.
today. Yeah, it was my choice. My kids. decided
You
to go
had
to college.
children.
Wait, you have
How
kids?
dare your kids go to college?
Bring them up. Bring it up again. I mean, most kids just go. They don't fucking are like, Bobby.
I can't wait till the first time he says something about parking. I'm gonna be like, "Shut the fuck up! Fuck your fucking
You
stupid
have fucking
kid."
kids. Ugh.
Hold on. I never said that.
Not yet.
I never said that about your kids. I'm saying.
I'm still young.
I'm just saying. You're like, oh, I have to go and then spend 8 days there. I can't wait
I had to
until
move two
we.
girls.
Hold on.
girls
Hold
into
on.
college.
I can't wait until he quits the show because
It's now. It's happening fucking now.
Because-
It's live.
because,
Out.
because
Broke my fucking
he has to go to Flagstaff every Saturday to pay for and install something at the fucking in the
No,
dorm.
hopefully all that shit's done already, man. That's what I spent.
We're gonna have so many Saturday
Doubtful.
road shows where we're
No,
gonna be
no,
in his
just
van
be-
going in NAU.
It'll just be me and Jordan, and Scott will eventually edit it.
No, he'll just be calling in
We're
from the
calling
road.
in from
I'm
the
stuck in
phone.
traffic. I'm not even distracted. I could do
Patch
this.
me in.
I wish Scott sounded better. Hopefully, it sounds good in your
Sounds
radios.
Fine. No one wants to hear Scott.
It's freaking. It's
They're
freaking
here for
me
us.
out. It's freaking me out.
I don't know.
Hey Scott, did you watch anything this week? No.
no.
When was I gonna have time? I had to leave on a Thursday. How could I possibly watch movies in 5 days?
I had to watch our movie on freaking Wednesday.
He's like,
Do you
"This
remember it?
morning."
Yeah. I think so.
If it goes more than 24 hours, I forget everything.
Watched it twice.
Jordan, I know you've watched a cacophony of things.
I watched a lot of stuff. I ended up watching Nope. I finally got around to doing that.
And you hated it.
I didn't hate it. I didn't see.
You're a terrible person, Jordan.
Well,
Pretty much.
The internet jerked this movie off. Like it was the second coming of Jesus Christ in horror movie form.
I think we said that it wasn't.
Right. No, and that's kind of what I was expecting. And when I watched it, it was good. I felt like it was too long for what the ending gave me. Like, you know what I mean? Like you finally get
I
to
thought the
end.
ending was awesome.
The ending
now
was
I
good.
sound weird.
You've always sounded weird.
Like I'm super loud in my own headphones. But that's fine. Sorry.
Just don't talk. It'll be fine. But I didn't hate the movie. I'm not saying I hated it. I think the buzz around the movie made it feel like it should have been more than what it was. I get what they were going for with it. I enjoyed most of the acting in it. I think the sister was annoying, but I think that's kind of her. Like she's the high
That's
energy.
the voice of Proud Family.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Like
a chick from the
Kiki
voice.
Palmer or
Yeah.
something like that. Daniel Kaluuya Coffee, he's really good.
Kaluuya.
I just feel like he played
Wow.
that character as if he was like high 24/7.
Really?
So like he was just very low energy, but then she was so high energy, it was like a good balance
I
between
thought
the two.
it was more like he was cool-headed.
I
and
mean,
she
you
was
could interpret
hot-headed.
it that way, yeah, definitely. But he was just so quiet and so just level about everything and like mellow. And I think just a lot going on. I liked it. I mean, like I said, I didn't hate the movie. I think I didn't see the hype being equal to what I saw. Because the hype was just crazy about it.
You know, like the sheet monster at the end?
Fucking
It wasn't a sheet. I don't like that he thinks that.
no,
It
no.
was
It started off as
sheet
a
jellyfish.
No, it was an alien stingray. You can go to fucking the zoo and pet
Yeah.
for $5. It was sucking up
It was
everybody's
like,
change.
I'm a big vagina sheet.
And then it turned into
kill
some-
everybody.
Like I'm a geometric parachute monster. Look at me go. So yeah, it was interesting. I think a lot of it. I think the more interesting story would have been knowing more about Jupiter's shit, like all his stuff and like his history with that fucking chimpanzee attack. Like that was crazy, and like him wanting to reclaim like his fame and finding that thing to exploit, and I think a lot of that was really cool. But yeah, I mean, it was a good movie. I'm not saying it's not good, so I liked it.
The original name of the movie was Little Green Men. Did you know that? I'm dead serious. Do you know why?
Because there was no little green men in the movie.
Zero.
No, because the movie is all about exploitation.
Yeah.
Like, and that Little Green Men is considered money.
I feel the weirdest part of that entire movie was the shiny helmet fucking TMZ dude. It was like he was almost talking like he was a robot. Where's my camera? Talking to this. Let me get your cake. Why aren't you filming this? What the hell? Like I understand his role in this to be like, okay, this is
What we go through to get the shot.
exactly.
And it was like, they showed it in different forms.
I just feel he played it very weird. The movie's basically Close Encounters mixed with Jaws, mixed with, Signs. You know what I mean? Like, it was just one of those things. But, I mean, it was good.
Yeah, I know what you mean because I saw it a long time
No,
ago.
I know. I'm just
I'm
saying.
just kidding.
We're talking about what we're seeing.
No.
I know you ended up watching, and I ended up watching the League of DC Super Pets or something
I
like
liked
that.
it.
Me too.
I liked it a lot.
I was very surprised by
I
that.
laughed.
I
and
was
I
actually
rarely
very
laugh.
happy that Dwayne The Rock Johnson wasn't annoying in this
Yeah.
because he is getting on my nerves.
Yeah.
And I think
He has to be in every movie with Kevin Hart.
seriously, but Kevin Hart I think did a great job. I think his character was way more interesting in this. It actually made me feel some feels.
I actually hated the villain. I thought the villain,
villain
was
was dumb.
too evil. I thought it was too evil.
She
like,
was a bitch.
Yeah.
Like it was a fucking guinea pig and she was a monster. There was a lot of
pigs.
adult humor in it, which was kind of funny. Like that tortoise that ended up getting super speed with her
Yes.
like using really bad language.
Yeah.
and they bleeped it out like
Or
a
the
number
cat,
of times.
The cat that was shooting like the rockets out of its
Oh,
tail.
the little fucking kitten.
See you in heck.
I'll
Yeah.
see you in heck,
Yeah.
and he's so cute, and then like just mowing people down, trying to murder everybody.
Parker liked it, so I
Yeah, the-
told.
Wait,
I
you have kids?
Oh, you have kids? Fucking talk about it more.
It's funny. Hold on a second. You guys die laughing when you say it, but when I
it's
say
funny.
it, it's not funny.
Well, you've said it 1,000 times.
Okay.
Because I keep bringing up my kids. My kids also like
You have
this
kids?
movie. Yes.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, no, Wesley liked it too. Like it was a fun movie to watch. I had low expectations.
Was there an after credit scene?
Yes.
With
Ah,
Ant-Man
missed it.
or something.
No, it was the one. So the henchwoman who was with
Oh,
Lex Luthor
I don't
ended
get
up
paid enough
finding
for
the
this.
guinea pig, and she was in the hot dog water, and they were
Right.
like, "Hey, come live with me. Let's."
chocolate
We're the
starfish.
ones
Yeah.
really being the.
We're the real victims.
Finally, Limp Bizkit.
Got that Limp Bizkit reference out there.
It's about time.
Congratulations, everybody. We've done it.
Only we could fly.
Yeah. I like that one. I watched Easter Sunday. I don't recommend.
Tell me about the first 5 minutes before you turned it
Which is
off.
terrible because I love Joe Coy stand-ups. I think he's funny.
Oh,
too.
well, you'll like this because
but
it's
I
just
hear the same thing. Like I just hear
It's-
this is just not a good
dude,
movie.
it's his stand-up, but
Really?
as like a movie, it doesn't work.
And Tia Carrera plays like a mom in it.
It's annoying, dude.
It's weird.
The kid who plays his son can't act out of a fucking paper bag. You're like, really, you are so unbelievable. Yeah, it's like the first 5 minutes of him is just him being a stand-up actor. So he's like a stand-up, or like he's like a stand-up comedian who's also an actor who's like doing like shows at like the Laugh Factory. It all takes place in L.A. And he's got to go to his family's house, and his family's Filipino. It's
It's
crazy.
like, hey guys, this is my life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
This
pretty
is-
much
this is my Filipino mother.
it's pretty much that. So it's like shifting from one, and then like he's trying to get this part in a sitcom, and he has to do like a stereotypical voice, and he's like, I don't want to do the voice. It's all very, very, very vanilla, like stuff you've seen a million times. But it looks like it's shot on my PlayStation 5, and it is super cringe. Like nobody in that movie can act.
You think
except
he's-
for Jay
I think
Sandushaker.
he's the next like Dane Cook,
I hope
where
not.
he's just got a
'cause
bit and he just runs the shit out of it.
Maybe I don't know. I hate Dane Cook
Because I think
so
like
much.
comedians sometimes they're funny once, and then they just kind of that's what they stick with. They're just like, okay, people laughed at this joke. I'm gonna keep telling this joke 900 different ways.
It's funny about Dane Cook though is that like we say he's cringy now and we think about all this stuff. I quote that motherfucker constantly
only
from
one
like
thing.
like
I
all
only
the
quote
time.
him on one thing. Actually,
Which was
two-
a Thursday
two-
or which was a Wednesday?
two things. Two things. I do the
Chicken tenders.
no. That's not even him.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And that's
The only thing I remember from Dane Cook is chicken tenders.
Well, he's talking about
And
the
how he-
drive-through at Burger King.
Yeah,
and
how
it's,
he
like,
goes
really
into a
creepy.
bathroom and everything is fucking wet. That's all I remember from
Yeah.
Dane Cook.
It's like there's some guy kicked in the door and
Yeah.
just pissed all over everything.
It's just fucking
Oh.
wet everywhere.
No.
Why is it always
The-
wet?
back in the day, which is a Wednesday.
Which was a Wednesday.
It's the only thing that I quote ever.
Yeah.
And then because people will be like, "Oh yeah, back in the day," and I'll be like, "Which was a Wednesday?" And they'll look at me like I'm stupid.
Yeah.
And
You're like Dane Cook.
and spaghetti
It's fun.
basket. That is it. I'll walk into McDonald's sometimes if I don't know what I want. I'll be like, "Can I get the spaghetti basket?" And they look at me like I'm stupid.
See, the ironic thing is that Aaron ended up going to get the spaghetti basket. It was just in a bucket.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Anyway,
no,
she-
I always go. I don't even like jelly.
Can I get the?
Why don't you guys
I'm
go
gonna
laugh
ahead
at
and-
fucking
yeah,
Dane
can I
Cook
get
some more.
the riblet basket?
Spaghetti
Spaghetti basket. You're at a fucking McDonald's.
Yeah.
and you're pointing at the
you
menu.
gotta point to
and
it.
then they look at
Yeah.
the menu.
We're talking about how much we hate Dane Cook, and we're
Right,
just sitting here
I'm
fucking talking
telling
about
you,
Dane Cook.
like as annoying
I
as
know. I really hate.
You know
it.
what I always do? Like and then I'm gonna mention my kids again. When we go
Oh
on
my
trips or we
God.
drive anywhere, I always point to like empty lots and I goes, "That's where Benson's Animal Farm was." Like I always do that shit too, and they just look at me like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And I'm just
Like,
laughing
shut
to
up,
myself.
Dad.
God, fuck this idiot! It's finally
Dumb
senile.
old bastard.
Anyway, oh yeah, no, Easter Sunday
Easter
sounds
Sunday
horrible.
It's a 0, like 0 out of 0. And I watched the whole thing. I
so
was.
Did you watch
nothing.
the whole thing? Because you said you shut it off.
Yeah, I shut it off after it ended.
Oh, I thought you said like you ended it like just in the middle of it.
Yeah, no, I just couldn't. I just said it was rough, and I couldn't do it. I mean, there was a lot of me on my phone. A lot of me on my phone.
Which is Aaron every movie.
No, it isn't. And what else? I watched Samaritan, which you were in the middle of.
Yes, but as you kindly pointed out and asked me, hey, if there's a twist at the end, what do you think it is? And then I accurately, within 5
It's
minutes of
so
watching this
predictable.
movie, told him what the end would be, and he's like, yup. So
It's incredibly one of the most predictable fucking
it reminds me
movies
of like
ever.
a
Not bad.
Eat too much?
reminds me of like a Hancock, or just like
Yeah,
they're trying to do something different, but it all ends up being the same.
like,
Hancock
I-
at least had a better twist to
I
it.
like Sylvester Stallone. I thought
He was looking rough.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
I thought the movie was interesting, but that's about it for me. Like, it broke no new ground. It was the most predictable shit on the planet.
Right.
The twist comes and you're like, yeah, we know. Like, and
First 10 minutes, trust me, I got it.
yeah, and then the movie just ends and you're just like, well,
That was it.
yeah, big gulps, huh? See you later. Like, yeah, I was just, fuck. What else did I watch? What else did you watch?
Let's see. I ended up watching. I was trying to get Wesley into watching, like Lord of the Rings and that kind of stuff. So I started him with The Hobbit just to kind of get him eased into it.
Ooh.
I know, a little rough, but we watched him, and then we started the Fellowship of the Ring today. Mainly because I kind of want to get back into that whole world because the new series is coming out, I think like next week or the week after on Amazon. So I'm kind of doing that. And then watching Sandman. I'm 5
Sorry.
episodes in. I don't hate it. Like, I think it's actually enjoyable.
I've heard it's super not accurate to the comics at all, and I want it to be accurate. I'm gonna read the comics first.
Yeah, and I don't have a lot of history with the comics, so I'm kind of just watching it with fresh eyes and no expectations. So I'm enjoying it to that point.
Apparently, in the comics, there's like a lot of like Superman, Batman references and stuff, and I guess
Yeah,
in the
well,
show
yeah,
they
I mean,
can't do any of that.
No, and just like they didn't have the rights to Constantine, like John Constantine, so they flipped it and made it kind of like I think it's Joanna Constantine, who's like a relation to John, but they don't mention him. It's weird. It's just it's a rights issue, so they can only
Unacceptable.
do so much. I don't know. It's kind of annoying,
Unacceptable.
but I don't hate it. I like it. I kind of wish they did have the rights to a lot of things to bring in Lucifer from the TV show Lucifer, because it's supposed to be the same world as that, and so. But I'm enjoying it. Definitely gonna finish it. I like who they have for Dream. What are you rubbing your chin?
He's
on
like
I
eating
was,
the
I was
microphone.
scratching my face.
it? Maybe you don't use the microphone for that. Use your fingies. But no, I don't hate it. I want to see it do well, because I think if they had another season, they could really do a lot more. And it just kind of sucks that they don't have that kind of stuff.
Why would you show that to me during the show?
I just popped up. I don't know why.
I don't want to know.
Oh, no, you have to see it now.
Fuck.
Aaron just shows me this
is
random picture of
riveting.
some hairy ass motherfucker.
Why?
Serious.
It's the corpse of fucking.
This is every girl's dream.
it's a carpet.
During the show, just derails.
Just derailed it.
I'm so sorry.
And then I watched. You mentioned that you had never seen Darkman, so I was like, "Well, I'm gonna put Darkman on." I ended up watching Darkman.
I'm gonna watch Darkman.
Fuck, please do.
Only for that one scene with Liam Neeson at the carnival.
Every once in a while, I got a one-upper on Aaron, man, because he's like, I've
Have you
never
seen it?
Darkman. And I'm like, I've seen Darkman.
Oh, geez.
Well, the history behind that is
I take my
Raimi.
wins when I can.
This is like Sam Raimi's first like big budget like studio film, and he wanted to do The Shadow but didn't have the rights to it, so he kind of did his own version of like The Shadow mixed with like Batman, and it's fucking wild, dude. Like I kind of excited for you to watch it in all this like 1991 cheesiness.
I'm gonna hate it.
You're probably gonna.
No,
I think
Just
you're
to
gonna
fuck
like
with you. There was something I actually watched. I enjoyed, but I watched so much. Oh, Vengeance.
it. Yes, that's right. you did.
Vengeance is a 50. It's in the top. Like, it might be in the running for best.
This is BJ Novak's movie.
BJ
right?
Novak.
Is it a movie or series? 'Cause
It's a movie.
Okay.
So what had happened was a couple of years ago, he had posted on Twitter. He had said to the effect of like, Purge is such an awesome idea on paper, and Jason Blum fucking wrote him and was like,
Do
yeah.
better then, fucker.
He liked.
Oh, okay.
He was saying how much he liked it, and then I guess they kind of started a friendship
Okay.
over after that tweet. Like, he wrote him back, and then
So is this a Blumhouse movie?
it is.
Okay.
And he kind of was just like, here's a bunch of money, do whatever you want, we'll make a movie. And they made this movie. So I say this is probably one of the best films of the year, like in the running for my best films of the year.
Right.
But that's kind of also its downfall is this movie only works in the bubble of the time period it's in. Like if you tried to watch this movie in 20 years, you'd be like, you wouldn't understand any of the references, or you wouldn't get any of it. You'd be like, what's a fucking podcast?
Okay, so this is like a 2022 set piece that really shouldn't exist past this.
Right.
Okay.
And that's why I can't give it like a 5 out of 5. But it's about a guy who he hangs out with John Mayer, and it's all about like hookup culture.
Dude, I read it, and it says an American black comedy, and I'm like, there's not a single black fucking person in this cast.
No, that's not
and then
what
I
it
thought
means.
about it, and I'm like, oh, black comedy. Okay.
So he's hanging out with John Mayer, and they have this list of like girls on their phones that they put like different subtext to. So like they're like, oh, if I met this girl at a bar, and then I put like where she's from and a question mark, and that's like the setup of the movie. Well, he takes a girl home, and then he gets a phone call that his girlfriend in Texas died. So he kind of goes out there to investigate, and it kind of spirals into this like, what was that big podcast, Serial? It kind of he's like a writer for this like journal, and like what is it, like the Washington Times or something like that, and he wants to do this podcast and be like the next Serial. So he's like, oh, everybody loves like Dead White Girl, so he's trying to solve the murder. At the same time, he's kind of like leeching off this family, and
so his girlfriend gets killed in Texas.
It's not really his girlfriend. You
some
gotta
chick
watch.
He hooked up with.
Yeah, you got to watch the movie.
So he's trying to exploit her death,
her family,
and
who
the
are
death
all
and
a
the
bunch
family.
of characters.
Gotcha.
Like I said, you got to watch
I'm
it.
kind of into this. If John Mayer plays John Mayer,
He does. It's not John Mayer plays John Mayer. It's just his friend.
Oh, I thought you said
his
he
friend
plays
at the beginning of the movie is played by John Mayer. I'm not doing the greatest job maybe of explaining it. Actually, I think I'm doing a pretty good job. But it's more like so it's like this family is all these cast of characters, and that's what he's kind of doing is like kind of exploiting like, oh, this girl thinks she's just gonna be famous because she exists, and like this guy, and they're like they have all these sayings like we don't call 911 and blah blah blah, and you have to watch it, and then like a pivotal scene in the movie takes place at a Whataburger. So I mean, it's a 10 on 10.
I mean, Whataburger.
Yeah. So
it's about a 3.5.
Well, yeah, Jordan will come back next week and tell me how much he didn't like it.
I'll be like, they didn't order a green chili double. I don't want to talk about it. That's the only reason I like 8 Seconds, because he keeps talking about what a chicken.
But I highly recommend it. I seriously loved every fucking second of it. I was and Ashton Kutcher is really good in it, and you haven't seen him in a while.
I was gonna say,
he is
last thing I saw him in was that
phenomenal.
TV show on Netflix where it was on a
That
ranch
one.
or something.
The Ranch?
Oh,
Yeah, The Ranch.
Well, he kind of plays that he plays like a cowboy.
Okay.
So yeah, once again, like if you tried to watch this movie in 10 years, you'd be like, I don't care about any of this. But
I believe
now,
the term is evergreen, where like
Yeah.
a movie like with when you watch like a movie like Princess Bride, some of it feels a little dated, but for the most part, you could feel like they made this movie just now,
Right.
or like it stays relevant based off what it is. But this would seem very like it's like when you watch like someone like walk into a phone booth in
Yeah.
a movie now, you're like, oh, that's right, we had phone booths.
this movie is just more like I understand that reference, but
It'll feel dated.
that will feel so dated in the future. So but I really would love it if you two watched it, especially
Okay.
you, Scott, since you don't do anything.
I'm kind of
else.
into this. Like, I'm just into the cast. I'm kind of, I don't know.
The cast
Was
is
this
really
like
good.
a streaming release, or is this
It actually
we have
came
to
to
find it on the back of a Chinese truck?
No,
kind
you
of
can
release?
find it on Soap, but
Okay.
because that's where I watched it. But it did come to the theaters, and now
Okay.
it's kind of on demand.
I had
but-
heard about it, and I like BJ Novak, obviously from The Office, and he's a good writer, writes kids books, and he actually he's very talented. So I knew about this
You go
movie,
see
but
it at Harkins tomorrow.
no thanks. I'm good.
or you could just watch it on
Or
TV.
you can watch it on TV. I did show Wesley the first 20 minutes of Maverick, and I think I have him. Like I think he's gonna watch that with me tomorrow. So we're gonna watch Maverick tomorrow.
Has he seen Top Gun?
No,
Really?
I've never had him watch the original Top Gun, but he's like any little kid, he's into
yeah.
cars and trucks and vehicles and stuff like that. And we play the Microsoft Flight Simulator on the Xbox, and they put the Top Gun shit in there. So they got one of the F-14 Tomcat, and then they have that experimental plane. So I showed him that part of the movie, and he was just like glued to the TV. I'm like, yes.
Wait, you have kids?
Yeah, I have a kid.
You don't talk about them ever.
But welcome to the three guys talking about their kids
Right.
and a movie editing every now and then. But yeah, I think I'm gonna watch Maverick again. I think
I mean,
the only time I
now-
saw it
now's
was
the
when we
time.
went and saw it in the theater. So now that I don't have to contribute to the billions and billions of dollars it made, I'm gonna.
You're like Wesley, like you sit down and watch this now. Don't worry about the scene where he walks into the fucking diner.
no,
It's very this
No.
just doesn't have anything to do with the movie, but everything else
no. You-
is a 3.5 solid.
3 points.
This was my favorite movie of the year. 3.5.
It's gonna be so good. But yeah, that's all I've been kind of watching. You watch Vengeance? You watch anything else
I don't think so.
other than what we watch? Like we're
DC
supposed to
Super
watch?
Pets.
Because I feel like you said you had like 3 or 4 things you were gonna watch like Thursday.
Yeah, I think I watched them all.
Yeah.
Because I kind of watched everything in sequences, which is the worst way to do it. But like I would like watch a little bit of Easter Sunday,
Right.
watch a little bit of Samaritan, go back to Easter Sunday, finish DC Super Pets this morning. I can't think of anything else. Did I go to the movies?
I don't think you did.
No, I don't think I did either. So no, I think I saw everything.
Do you have any interest in watching First Kill, that orphan movie?
No.
Yeah, I keep seeing so many people saying that was better than I thought it was going to be. This and I'm like,
But they always say that shit, and
I
I
know.
bet it's terrible. People just want to be entertained, and I think it's just like it's shitty entertainment. And I can't. The first one wasn't good. People need to stop.
oh, I know.
acting
And
like it
and then
was.
you like make a movie 10 years later with the same actress, and she's supposed to be younger than in the first movie,
Right.
but she's 12 years old. Like what? How do you
It
do
doesn't
that?
make any sense. I
No.
hate the world. Fuck off, world.
I know Elvis is coming to HBO Max
I
soon,
wanna
and we're all
fuck-
going to ignore that on that platform instead of what we've been doing so far.
I've been wanting to watch it
I know.
forever.
It's-
I
it's
haven't
in-
been in the movie.
in
Kim
the
wants
bank.
to watch it too, and I'm like, I won't watch it without you. But I'm kind of like, I better watch.
You're going to
it.
have to, otherwise
Yeah,
you're going to
I
run
mean,
out of time.
I'm the same way, man. I mean, I grew up. My mom just fucking non-stop playing Elvis. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been to Graceland. So I'm curious to see how it kind of stacks up with what I know.
What's
you know?
it's a bummer though, because like
It's the one I know.
I love Collective Soul. I'm not the biggest
Stop the
damn it.
edge.
Just kidding. No, let's not do this. I'm not the biggest
As the tears roll down.
It's so late. We're all getting just delirious
so
now.
Sorry, everybody. I'm not. Baz Luhrmann to me is hit and miss,
Yeah, and that's
what worries me.
That's
about
what
this.
I've heard. I've heard like Australia's like one of the worst films
I
ever
hate.
made.
You've never seen it?
No.
I hate it.
I refuse to
hate
watch
that
it.
movie.
I hear that's terrible. I hear The Great Gatsby, his version is bad, and I own that version.
So do I,
and
and
I've
I-
neait seen it.
Me
But
neither.
I hear that.
Wait,
this,
you own it?
I
Never seen it.
That's not going to change anytime soon.
We're gonna make that happen.
So no, I hear that Elvis is actually very good, but I hear the problem is that it's all surface level Elvis, and
Yeah.
everything else is like the story. So you only get surface level Elvis, not like deep Elvis.
Not like drug Elvis. And
No, you'd get all that.
You get
but
it,
just-
but-
it's just as a timeline. It's not like it doesn't really go into it.
you get snippets of it.
It
Yeah.
starts off with him
So
like
much.
ODing or something like that.
Oh, you watched it?
I just wanted to see the quality of what we could get on the internet.
Gotcha.
I kind of do that. I was like, oh, what does this mean? And then it's like Chinese subtitles. I'm like, no thanks.
Right, I
I'll
hate
wait.
that shit too.
I'll wait till I can get a better version. But
I'll-
yeah,
I'll-
like I said,
I'll
Baz
steal it
Luhrmann.
later.
I'll steal it later. Ugh. Here's where our sites are. But like I said, Australia's bad. It is so bad, and I'm not into Moulin Rouge. I love, Romeo and Juliet, but
Everybody
That's
jizzed
it.
himself over Moulin Rouge, man.
I
Everyone
love
does.
Moulin Rouge.
I didn't like it either. I was just
Well,
kind of
that's
like,
'cause you're
meh. I like musicals, man.
Stupid person.
I love musicals, and I just did not. That one just didn't connect with me.
do you like Grease? I heard Grease is good.
Yeah, what the fuck is wrong with
I don't
you?
like Grease.
Because you're dumb?
I just don't like it.
It doesn't make any sense.
I don't like
Grease-
it.
I
Grease
bet you
is a
like
fun-
Me Time with Kevin Hart and fucking Mark Wahlberg.
Grease is
Ah.
a fun movie to watch.
saw that
It has just
picture for
been
that.
shoved down everybody's throat so
I have something
hard.
to shove down your
I
throat.
bet you do.
It's my penis.
Oh, I've got chills. And
They're multiplying.
Anyways, Grease is good.
I hate Grease.
Jordan is dumb.
No.
Red Dawn is good. Jordan is dumb.
I fucking hate you. Hey, that's a good segue to talk about our movie this week.
Okay. What did we watch this week, Jordan?
Oh, we're going into it.
We're not After Hours.
We already watched that.
The,
And you didn't like it because you're dumb.
the movie that just gets called After Hours.
Fucking 9 times.
Night Shift.
So we're going into 1982 with the comedy starring Henry Winkler.
What was that?
Henry Winkler. I was having a fucking stroke.
Herbie Hancock.
Henry Winkler, Michael Keaton,
I was
and
way off.
somewhere in that fucking movie is Kevin Costner.
I saw him.
saw
Night
him.
Shift.
I
You
saw
didn't
him.
see
Shelley
him?
Long's in it.
Maybe if you stayed off your phone, you would have.
No, I mean,
seen
I was like I said, I was anticipating a bigger role, and then when I went back and looked at it, it says frat boy number 1.
Oh yeah, no,
and
it's
I'm like,
guy
oh,
in the
okay.
background.
Yeah, but he's
and then that's it.
very noticeable.
Really?
He's
So what did we
I
watch?
must have missed it.
What did we watch?
Night Shift.
Watch it.
Chuck Lumley works nights. He's a civil servant. And so is Bill. Chuck and Bill have a very strange partnership. They also have a happy staff. Their business is growing. Their customers have no complaints. And the future looks good. However, Chuck is a little too serious about his work. So, Bill is teaching him to take things easier. After all, night work can be fun. You just have to know where to look for it. Night Shift. It makes the day seem dead by comparison.
Yeah. That's what we watched.
Two guys completely unsatisfied with their fucking morgue job decide to like get into the sex industry.
I think,
I can't even. Well, I couldn't even say if it's two guys that are unsatisfied. I think one guy is unsatisfied. The other guy is one of
I think
those
he's
like
one of those-
always looking for the next big
I think he
thing
goes,
type of guys.
Henry Winkler's character is the go through the motions guy.
No,
he's satisfied with what he has because that's what he
He
has.
doesn't like making waves.
Henry Winkler's character is every character from the 80s or 90s that doesn't have any confidence, and this movie is going to get it. Before we get into it, like hardcore, I'm just going to say that this is an incredibly predictable film.
Oh, yeah.
Because once you started, I'm the Richie Cunningham. I'm the
You know who it was? It's the Odd Couple. That's what it reminded me of. It was the Odd Couple.
It was, but he kind of learns that
He loosens up.
Yeah,
he completely does a 180 into a different person at the end, which is what the hero's journey of this film was. But I mean, it was just a little predictable. That's
It was a hero, or was it like everything that
the
just
hero's
broke
journey
him
is just
down?
Yeah,
what I
'cause
mean.
what you mean.
I don't actually mean the hero's journey, but
Right,
it's called the hero's journey because he's very uptight. He has to do this. He doesn't want to cause waves. He doesn't want to. That's why he has to go to the night shift anyway, because the fucking cousin is coming in. He can't argue with his boss. He can't send his tuna fish back that he gets every fucking night. He doesn't want to upset his uptight fucking Charlotte,
that
who
woman.
plays in Seinfeld. Is the
I have a feeling that this character, and this is probably just way off and just me spitballing it, but I have a feeling this character somehow was the base for like Michael Douglas's character and like Falling Down. You know how he's like
Where he finally snaps.
Yeah, where he
I mean,
just
I don't think
snaps
to
and
that
fucking,
point. But
no,
yes.
but I think it was like, hey, this is kind of a character development thing,
No,
and
'cause
we're just
he
gonna
was-
make this guy just snap like shit at the end because he kind of does snap at
Fuck,
the end.
could you imagine if
But
Henry
he's
Winkler
but
just
he's
pulled out
not
a
in like a
gun?
violent snap.
not really. He's just more like, I better do this or I'm never
Right.
going to get
That's
it.
kind of how it reminded me though, because he was
So-
just he's very vanilla. He's very straight. He's very nice at the beginning of the movie, and you see his progression kind of as he just gets shit on all movie, where he just finally loses his shit and decides, fuck it, this is what I'm gonna do.
No, I think for me, I don't think he's trying to be the nice guy. I just don't think he knows how to stand up for himself.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
so
Exactly.
he's
The hero's journey.
He wants to be the one that stands up for himself. He just doesn't know how.
This was-
He thinks like, okay, if I complain about my food, they're going to spit in
Right.
it the next time.
Well, he's
so
got
I
a
don't.
shitty
I want to avoid
girlfriend.
the consequence of my standing up for myself. So I just won't do it.
Yeah,
That's
it's
not
the
so much
school bully and the school the nerd getting along. That's all it is. I mean, it wasn't fucking groundbreaking. I'm sitting there watching it going, oh, okay, we're going through the beats here. And the reason I bring that up is because we had just had a generic movie last week, and I don't consider this one generic. I actually really enjoyed this film. I thought that my only issue with it was the premise is so ridiculous that I never really believed it could happen, I guess, because at one point he's giving pensions to the fucking hookers.
But I think it's like that's the 80s thing, man. It was like everything in the 80s was sex and, over the top, boobs and prostitutes and like everything. That was like 80s comedies. It was like, hey, we got Porky's, we got freaking Police Academy, everything is
I
like kind
get
of
it. It just was so unbelievable, especially for
But
his
it just was
character
very
who won't
that
even
time.
fucking send back a mustard sandwich.
that
you know?
was fucking hilarious.
I
The
like
guy's
that
like
part.
Wipes it on the wall.
Yeah, I don't like mustard. And the guy pulls it and fucking wipes it down the
I
wall
love
and he
how
slaps it
annoyed
back
he
on
was
there.
to deliver the food. Like,
Yeah, he was very upset. It
The
was 4K.
the one sandwich that he could have made in his fucking apartment.
Fucking bag of sandwich, little brown
It was
paper
just like
bag.
sandwich bread and like bologna and
Literally
mustard.
white bread and like it was like potato salad or something like that, and then with mustard on it. He was like, I didn't want mustard. He just wipes it on the wall and like, all right, well,
so the premise
in New
is-
York in the '80s, I guess.
Yeah, is Henry Winkler plays this morgue guy who gets transferred to the night shift because he doesn't want to piss off his boss, who hires his hilarious fucking cousin. I'm sorry, one of the funniest lines in the movie, I had to pause it because I was laughing so hard, is when he picks up the paper and he's like, something Polish. Like that's
Oh yeah,
name.
like the name of the guy who they brought
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Something Polish sounding.
He goes, I put a bunch of bodies in the wrong spot. The guy said, my uncle said you'd figure it out. He's like, okay. He's like, the name's right there. Something Polish.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I did.
That Barney Rubble, what an actor!
Is that
Fucking
oh,
moron.
yeah.
When he's watching cartoons
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
morgue.
There was a lot of those like little one-liners in this movie between those two. I mean, Keaton is like
Keaton was awesome.
just kind of Pete
This was
Keaton.
like his first role too.
Was it?
Like his first major standout role?
That makes sense.
Because then after this, he went on to do like Mr. Mom, Gung Ho, and
Right.
before rolling into Batman '89.
Did he play Batman?
Yeah, I think.
Oh
so.
wow.
Yeah.
It reminded me a lot of just almost a straight edge Beetlejuice. Because of the way he was just very high strung,
frantic.
very frantic. Yeah, just
Oh, he
kind
was
of-
always shucking and driving the
Yeah.
whole movie. I like that.
Dude, I want a pair of those shoes, man. The shoes that he had after they kind of got all the prostitutes together, and he had those silver fucking like disco ball shoes.
You want that
I'm-
car where
I'm
it's like his
looking.
windows are so tinted, he's just like flipping off the cops and shit.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
No, I think Michael Keaton was a very shining part of this movie. Like, I really liked him. Like, I really liked his character. I didn't think, like, for me, I can't see, and this is probably because of the times and everyone was loving Happy Days and things like that. I don't see Henry Winkler being the love story of this. Like, it's so
it's weird.
weird to see.
Well,
like,
he did say he was tired of being the bad boy and he wanted to be the Richie Cunningham for once. That's
No,
why he took
I
this.
understand.
Yeah.
I understand why he took the role and why he was doing this and why he's attracted to this role. I don't see him as the love interest type. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sitting there watching him through this movie, going, "Why is Shelley Long into this dude? Why eventually is he the central love interest of this story?" Like, it just felt weird to me because I just didn't see him that way. You know what I mean? Like Michael Keaton, maybe, but he was just so spastic. He just couldn't be that character. And then
I don't know.
Henry
I think
Winkler,
I kind of believed it a little bit.
Yeah, 'cause
because he's the nice guy.
Yeah, he's the nice
You
guy. He's
know,
down
and
to earth. He wants
she's-
to save her.
Yeah, she's got all these fucking problems because she's like prostituting herself out. So she's looking for the out, and he's normal. So she kind of latches onto him. And the interaction between those two is kind of funny, I mean, she just kind of
I
comes
love
over
the
to the
breakfast
house.
scene
Yeah,
with
the
them.
breakfast scene where he's like freaking out because she's like in her underwear cooking in his kitchen.
I mean,
She looked hot.
flat as a fucking countertop. But man,
I was into
wouldn't. Yeah, I'm like, Shelley Long, really? I never thought I would have thought that.
I
way.
heard, I read that she's really like super difficult to work with because she's so tall. compared to him. So
Oh, yeah, she wouldn't frame
she
right.
wouldn't frame right, and then like they'd have to do like scene after scene after scene after scene, and they just like she said it was like one of the most frustrating shoots of his life with every scene that they were in together.
I heard she was a pain to work with on Cheers too.
For
So
that
it's just-
reason,
yeah, and so it's like, I mean, that sucks, but yeah, no, she was good. I think this was one of her first roles too. Like this was like a good starting
And
point
it
for a
was
lot of people.
Ron Howard's first movie he directed, and he was in it. He was
Twice.
a saxophone player and making out with the chick.
Which is his wife
Yes.
in real life. So like this was such a weird starting point for him because I've seen him do better movies, and like for him to like I wouldn't have thought he made this movie. You know what I mean? Like it just felt not like a normal Ron Howard. Like he was just, cutting his teeth on this to, get the reps in before he developed his style.
Michael
you know what
Keaton's first starring role.
That's what
Okay.
he.
Yeah.
Oh, it's almost like Jordan just said that.
I mean? It's weird.
He said he thought. He wasn't sure.
I don't know if he did any like TV before he went on to like motion pictures. So like,
And one of the call girls was played by Drew Barrymore's mom.
right? No, there's a lot of people in this movie, and I don't know. Like,
The fraternity having the party at the morgue is Delta Tau Chi, seen on the
American
wall,
House.
which is the same
American
fraternity
House.
as National Lampoon's Animal House.
Animal House, American House, same thing.
welcome to I'll Watch It Later podcast where we read IMDb. It's 1:30. Just kidding.
Kurt Russell and Mickey Rourke
Here we go.
auditioned for the role of Bill
Blazowski.
which is very Jewish.
That's it. We're done. No, but I liked it.
What did you hate about it? Because I know you didn't like it.
For me, it's hard because this movie.
My name's Jordan. I hate good movies.
I didn't say I hate it.
If they're old, don't.
No,
like them.
because you're like, this is phenomenal. So I'm watching this movie going, why is this phenomenal? And this is, I'm not saying this is your fault directly. I just hate when
it's his
someone puts something out there, I immediately latch onto it. So this is why I don't like when you say stuff like that. And I'm not trying to be
I'm
dick.
never gonna.
No,
say
I
that.
No,
get
that's-
what you're saying, because when somebody says
'Cause,
this
like,
is
oh,
really good, you go in with that thinking, okay, this better be really good.
And I found myself not laughing a lot. And it sucks because like I really wanted this to be very funny.
I kind of laughed a lot at first.
There were moments.
And then it did trail a little bit towards the end where I didn't laugh as much when they were kind of going through their whole spiel. At first, it was very funny. I mean, when the two characters get together, and Keaton is just so over the top, and
Yeah.
Henry Winkler is so fucking just dull. I mean, the interaction between those guys is funny.
How about when Keaton was laying in the fucking morgue drawer,
Yeah.
listening to him tell like Henry Winkler's character tell him like knock it off,
Yeah.
like that was pretty funny. I'm like, oh, you hurt his feelings.
But
Dumb
it was
child.
it was an 80s.
That's how it felt
Just
to me.
80s. It
I
was-
felt like it was locked
yeah.
in that time capsule.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's endlessly rewatchable. Like if that came on the television or something, I would watch that again. I liked it. I thought there was a ton of one-liners. I thought that it was well acted, well done. The cinematography was good. Just the time period. It just was such a captured in the bottle. It should
Tons
be
of Burt Bacharach.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Which apparently he did. Like he was.
So I did think the music was a little weird because it was a lot of that's what friends are for.
Rolling Stones, bro.
But then you get
Yeah.
Van Halen at the frat party.
Well, yeah, because BJ's very into like hard rock, Van Halen. You got the Rolling Stones in his car. Like that's his. It's almost like the movie soundtrack is playing on both of their character types. Where
Yeah.
he's the very straight laced Burt Bacharach type, and he's the hard rock Van Halen. Let's do this type. So like musically, it made sense, but it's
musically,
you're right.
it's
It's
a
like
terrible app.
If musically, it's terrible.
Still do that.
I think so.
But
See if it's on there. Let's do it musically.
dumb. That's the bonus show.
Yeah.
It's us doing music.
Us doing musicallys.
But
Be on
for
TikTok.
me, like I wanted a comedy, and what I got was, yes, a couple one-liners here and there. The situations that again were comical, but I didn't laugh at them as much. And it's because I grew up in the 80s watching a lot of these comedies like Animal House and things like that. I felt like it should have been funnier than what it was. And
think that's
it's
why
no
this is one of
fault
those, like-
of anybody here.
Yeah.
And then when I hear phenomenal, I'm sitting there going, why? Why did you find it phenomenal? And that's why I was excited to talk about it, because I
think
want to
this is
know
one of
why
those
you
side
thought that.
pieces. Like it's almost like the side dish of the 80s, because I mean, same thing. I grew up in the 80s
What?
watching a lot of these movies, and I had never really heard of this movie never seen previews for it, never anything until obviously we started kind of getting more into movies.
I completely get why it's a part of the Warner Archives. I thought it was phenomenal because I just thought that Shelley Long was awesome. I thought Winkler was really good in the role, and I loved Michael Keaton. I loved the whole thing. I thought the story was well told. I thought everything about it was just a lot of fun. I had a blast watching it, and it was late when I watched it. I didn't even think I was like, fuck, if I fall asleep, I'll watch the rest of it tomorrow. Didn't fall asleep. I actually laughed.
Right.
That's worth a half a point.
What?
Not falling asleep.
No, because of how late it was when I
Right.
actually watched it, because I watched it after Vengeance. And
That's how I gauge movies now.
What a weird like juxtaposition where you're watching something like Vengeance and then you go immediately into like this.
Yeah, it's just because it was like Wednesday night or something like that, and I just wanted to make sure I got it out of the way just in case, because I knew I had a lot of stuff going on this
Right.
weekend, and I was just like, I found myself like very engaged, and anytime I can get that, and I think I texted you probably 15, 20 minutes into the movie and said I hate Scott. And that's what
Yeah, and that's what I was
latched on.
wondering why you said it. I'm thinking, and then when I saw the text the next morning, I'm like, oh, he watched the movie, and he's either going, I hate Scott because he picked a shitty movie,
No.
or I hate Scott because once again he threw a dartboard at
Yep.
AFI's top 100 and found another movie that's really good.
And that's how I feel.
I mean, you know,
That's exactly how I feel. He threw a dartboard and he found another good movie that
Right.
I've been wanting to watch, and I didn't pick it, and it makes me mad because I'm just like, damn, dude, this is fucking great. Like I loved all of it when he's in the like apartment with the Cheryl or Charlotte or whatever her name is, and she's like, you gotta check the apartment, and he's like,
Oh, fucking that!
he's just
She
trying
got-
to
I
get.
was
trying to,
mad
he's just
about
trying to
her.
get his wiener in,
Yeah,
man.
he's just trying
It's
to
like
get
it's my
laid.
only night off. Check the fucking apartment.
Yeah.
She's like, I cheated on.
She's
I
like,
cheated today.
I don't want you to look at me.
Oh, fucking.
I don't
Took
look
the
at
light
They're
off. and
having
he's like,
like in one of the montages, they're having sex, and she's
eating
like
fucking
bonbons
like
or
fucking
something.
like, what was it
Yeah.
like Chocodiles or something
Yeah,
like.
and I'm just like, it reminded me of Seinfeld. Like all that humor reminded me of
A
Seinfeld.
little
where he's
bit,
like,
yeah.
So that's just why I equated it to all those things. I liked all the Ron Howard stuff when he's just sitting there, just trying to do his puzzle. The guy's playing the saxophone all shitty,
And that
he's
was-
like,
yeah.
okay, he pulls out a checkbook. I'm like, that's funny to
He
me.
tips him the first time.
Yeah.
The guy's just like, well, it's not enough.
Not enough.
I'm
And he
gonna
plays
keep
shitty.
playing.
Like he's playing fine, and he's like, "Here's your tip," and then he's like, "No."
Oh, it was terrible.
It was just-
it was just noise.
Like no, there were moments in this movie that I thought were comical. I just didn't find myself finding it as funny from start to finish as I thought it would be, because I had seen like the poster to this. I had known about this movie, but you know,
I
I
love
never
the
watched
artwork.
it.
I love the artwork.
Oh,
on the
it's
cover.
it's just the
Super
cheesy 80s.
Yeah, hand drawn.
Almost like Drew Struzan, like just
Yep.
the way he does everything. Like that was just I remember seeing that a lot.
I didn't think it was a perfect movie. I did think that once the hookers like became like a
Unionized, owning hamburger
or a
joints.
central theme of the film, I thought it just became long-winded. It was like, okay, I know how this works. Like, how are you going to get caught and all this stuff? And I just like I didn't find any of that stuff interesting. I thought the relationship between Winkler and Shelley Long was more interesting than anything that was happening with the hookers. And I thought that Keaton just fucking being crazy was more interesting than anything.
There was one part toward the end of the movie where I did actually physically laugh out loud, where Michael Keaton swinging in as the towel boy in
that
the fucking
was
sex
fucking
club. He
hilarious.
looks like a little Tarzan swinging in. I was like,
And he
okay,
knocks
that's
everything over.
I was like, that's really funny. And then there was another part where the guy was like trying to talk to Shelley Long's character, and he's trying to talk to her, and the guy's like, oh, I can help you out. Let's go to this. And he's trying to like fuck her, and he's like, well, come on then. And then, like, before he can get, like, the rest of his sentence out, the guy just cold cocks Henry Winkler right in the face. And I'm like, okay, that's fucking funny.
the whole
Because he
prosti-
wasn't expecting. He was like, all right, let's put up your poop dunk. You
Yeah,
know, like,
the whole
it's smart.
prostitution thing was weird though too, because at the beginning, kind of, what is it, maybe halfway through the movie,
Yeah.
she goes to court and takes this guy to
Oh,
court
takes
for
her whole
stiffing her.
family, which I thought was also
Yeah.
very funny.
That was funny.
So the guy stiffs her for payment.
Yes.
And she's telling in front of the judge, she's like, yeah, like I basically like fuck this guy.
Well, we had
And
a business transaction.
A business transaction, and he didn't pay me, and the judge is just like, yeah, whatever. And then they all get busted for it later, and it's a big deal. Like it's at the
No, it's
beginning,
not.
it's not a big deal, and then they all get thrown in jail for it.
And I also, the other thing I'd have to say that I didn't 100% believe was Keaton was like, oh, no, we have him over a barrel. Like, let's see what we can get.
Oh,
I didn't
fucking-
I didn't feel like that was like,
I was actually upset. Like, dude, shut up.
Well, I didn't feel like that was his character. Like it doesn't make any sense. He's not a grifter. He just
No, but
wants
see,
to be-
throughout the movie, he's very, head in the clouds, wants to get to do the next big thing. He wants to be better or bigger than he is, and he's always that's why he's taping all his ideas.
Right, I get that.
As he progresses, his journey is that he starts getting more greedy because he's making the money. He found his thing. He's found his niche, and now he's got that mentality of, well, I'm untouchable. Let's get a little bit more out of it. So I think
That's everybody, though, man.
story
You get that
wise,
little taste.
yeah, exactly.
Just
And I
it-
think
you
that's
gotta have
why
the
he
whole
On
acted that
it
way.
didn't feel that. And,
Right.
Like I just felt that it didn't represent his character too well. I just felt like it was a reason to break them apart for no reason, because it doesn't really do anything for the movie. Like they're 2 scenes later, they're friends again. So
Yeah, swinging in on a fucking vine at the Paradise Club or whatever that was.
I want to hang out in that club with a fake volcano in the back.
Weird, like underground New York sex club for rich people, like sex rooms and shit.
What'd you give it?
I mean, this is middle ground. Like I wanted it to be funnier. I didn't hate the movie. I'm not like you. Like if it's coming across, I'm not gonna rewatch it. Like there are better things for me to rewatch. Like
The Hobbit again? Or
no, I like
Lord of the Rings?
with Michael Keaton. Like I like Gung Ho, like the one where he's doing he's doing
Batman.
he's doing the car manufacturing, and then like the Japanese come in and they're taking over, and like that dynamic is really funny to me. I didn't think this was as funny where it's like I want to go back to watch Night Shift. Like I got to rewatch this movie. That was a hilarious movie. No, I can't watch that. Like Animal House, rewatchable. There are a million other things that I think were funnier, especially in the 80s, and I would pick those over this anytime. So this is just middle of the road 2.5 for me. Like it's just it's there. It's not the worst, but it's not the best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thanks, Scott. Aaron, what do you think?
I know. He does not get the cue at all.
It's fucking
all
midnight.
right. So I disagree. I think that it is endlessly rewatchable. I think that it fits well with the 80s comedies of yesteryear. I thought it was very funny. I liked Keaton. I liked Winkler. I liked Shelley Long, even if she's a pain in the ass to work with. I like seeing where all these people came from. So I am going to give it the greatest score of all time, a 3.5.
Yes. Oh, thank God. You're finally in. Welcome to the club, buddy.
Anything to say, Scott?
That's a terrible fucking score.
Yep, 3.5.
Now, I could see where this movie kind of holds a place for people. I think at the time, it's probably one of those things where, I'm not sure, like, it's the guy that you listen to, it's his favorite movie and stuff. It's probably something maybe he watched as a younger kid and really kind of enjoyed it.
Brian Sauer from Just the Discs.
There
and
you go.
Pure Cinema Podcast.
Plug.
Absolutely.
It is.
Quentin Tarantino.
I'm kind of probably right in the middle of you guys. I didn't think it was like stellar. I didn't think it was like middle ground. I thought there were some funny moments in it, and I didn't hate it. So I'm like, I'm probably about a 3.
And that's fine. But see,
Yeah.
for me, like I'm stacking it up against the history of
please.
80s
Yeah.
comedies.
Please tell
and
us
for me, this
about
is just
all
not-
the 80s
I get it.
comedies that people fucking
I get
jerk off over. Yeah, I guess it has to be one of those. It
No.
has to be a famous 80s
I
comedy.
get it.
or else
There's a lot of comedies.
else it
in the
doesn't
80s
break that-
like were really.
that 2.5 score for Jordan. Hey man,
God
I
forbid.
mentioned Animal House 35 times. I can't mention
mentioned
any
it once.
other movies.
one time.
It's fine.
I'm just saying, like, there are other things that I find more watchable than this movie.
I get it, and that's why I think this is not like. This wasn't a.
I just don't get how you guys play. I just don't get how you fucking play.
What's in their
I
numbers
guess I
on these
fold.
fucking chips?
Yeah.
I'll just sit here and stare down at
Such
the
an inside
tablecloth
joke.
for fucking an hour and a half, just stewing in my own juices.
Speaking of stews and juices,
Oh, stews and juices. Next week.
Jesus Christ, you didn't get the fucking cue.
Oh, I did. It was just a terrible segue.
Next week's snack show is nothing but stews and juices.
Stews and juices.
God, wouldn't that be
Secretion
gross?
from
I mean, I was just trying to
eyelids.
latch on to whatever was there, man.
All right, so next week we got the snack show. What's your movie pick for the next movie show?
So for the next movie show, since it's the final episode of this show, I'm kidding. It is. Oh, geez, I don't even know.
Anyway, so while he's doing that, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who's listening.
we made
new
it.
or old, we've done a year. I threw something out there this week. Our a full fucking year doing this, and the only reason we had to cancel 1 week it's because I almost died. But other than that,
You really think you almost died?
no, I was just didn't feel like.
We are going to watch.
Oh, it's just going right into it. I was in the middle of fucking thanking everybody. You know what? Happy birthday. Fuck off. I was gonna say happy birthday.
Sorry. Yes. Thank you. It was my birthday this past week.
Yes.
I appreciate it, and I do appreciate everybody who's listened for a year. Whether you've written in, whether you just listen casually, whether you think we suck and you hate listening to us.
I hope so.
Thank
Please
you.
hate listen.
Thank you so much.
Those are the best.
That have
And
sent
we're gonna
snacks and
We're going to keep doing this
for sure.
until Scott has to go up to Flagstaff every Saturday because her kids can't handle being adults. But, we're going to
Can't
try.
wait till your second kid gets here.
right.
We're gonna be doing Thursday
Wait till
afternoon shows.
Aaron can't handle being an adult.
Whatever that means.
Anyway, thanks for everybody.
Yes.
Yes.
What's your show?
What's my show?
What's your movie?
It is a show, actually.
I know.
It is 1971, directed by Peter Bogdanovich.
Who just died recently?
Yes,
by
he
the way.
did.
Anyway,
100% on Rotten Tomatoes, so I can't wait for you to tell
this
me
must
what-
be Scott's pick.
I can't.
Way to throw a fucking dart there.
I cannot wait for you to tell me how much you don't like this, because I'm going to argue with it.
That's
It's good.
surprising for something that's from 1971 to have 100%.
Yeah, how many people reviewed it though?
Who
3.
knows?
4.
Sybil Shepherd, Jeff Bridges, Timothy Bottoms, Cloris Leachman. It is The Last Picture Show.
Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart?
Tony Bennett's Cold, Cold Heart was on everybody's hit parade. Elizabeth Taylor was getting married. Boys wore ducktails. The police action in the Far East was Korea. And Anarene, Texas, like other small towns, is approaching the end of an era.
I heard about the ball game last night. 121 to 14. Must be pretty near a record.
What you think he'd do if he found us?
Shoot us, probably. But, Mama, it's a sin, isn't it? Unless you're married, you know I wouldn't do that.
Don't be so mealy now.
Cover it out! Cover it out! You gotta be men like the rest of us. Ain't none of you pretty enough to be women.
You boys can get on out of here. I don't want to have no more to do with you. I've been around that trashy behavior all my life. I'm getting tired of putting up with it.
Oh, quit prison. I don't think you did it right anyway. Honey?
What?
That's a lie. I'll stay with her all night one of these nights, too. She done promised.
You won't either.
Yes, I will. Why shouldn't I?
I'm not sorry for you. You'd have left Billy, too, just like you left me. I bet you left him plenty of nights. Whenever J.C. whistled.
So long, buddy. So long, buddy.
Be careful. I'll take care of the mercury for you.
I'll see you in a year or two if I don't get shot.
You wouldn't believe how this country's changed. I reckon the reason why I always drag you out here is probably I'm just as sentimental as the next fella when it comes to old times. Old times.
Anarene, Texas, 1951. Nothing much has changed.
Your cold, cold heart.
And I just feel like we should be watching the classics. Like
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
and I'm not going to shit on it.
No,
I'm not inherently going to shit on it. Just
You're gonna be like, I don't know why
Yet.
people like this shit. It was fucking black and white. Fucking Jeff Bridges. Fuck this shit.
Favorite movies.
I fucking hate what your favorite movie.
Citizen Kane.
Oh Jesus.
Go ahead. Say something about bad about the most highest rated
Reach
top
higher.
movie of
Hey,
fucking
guys,
cinema.
my
Go
favorite-
ahead.
my
Does it have
favorite
100% on Rotten Tomatoes?
Yes.
Hey guys, my favorite movie is Citizen Kane. You can't.
Hey.
You literally can't argue about it.
Hey, do your football picks bit. Just give me shit for picking the best movie in the history. Go ahead.
Anyways,
asshole.
why don't you pick more Kansas City players?
I will.
Okay.
This is where you just pick all Kansas City players. Just hold it for the rest of the show.
So next
Aaron's
week,
mic just fell off
Be
the
like
table.
the fucking road show. He's just gonna have it in his mouth in a second.
so next,
It's not gonna work. Just hold it.
Good shit.
Yeah,
We're at the end line.
I'm trying
There
to
we go.
finish.
Can I finish?
All right. So next week we do have.
Talking to the mic.
Dude, are you serious right
Yep.
now? Please
I'm
let me
very
finish.
serious. Got talking to the mic.
Seriously.
Yeah, it's got to be straight on this
Let
way.
me
'cause-
finish.
There we go.
Dude, nobody can hear you.
We can hear you.
Jesus Christ. So next week we have the snack show. And let me
It's
tell you,
11:40.
listen to me right now. Listen to me, people out there in podcast land.
Listen.
We went fucking no, we didn't go hard.
See, I knew it. The second he said "we," you could see his fucking like him hitting a rewind button and wants to go right over what
we
he
didn't even
just
have
said.
to wait a week for that retraction.
Immediately.
I went fucking hard as balls.
It's all about me,
so fucking hard on this snack show. I got everything.
Here's the thing. Yes, you did, but also you don't give us time to do anything. You're impulsive. It helps in this situation, but you are so much like, hey, did you hear that? Yeah, I've already ordered like 95 of them.
I didn't order
I'm
any
part
of
of
these.
8 different groups on Facebook, and
Only thing I ordered was the Doritos. Everything else.
I'm just saying, like, I think your schedule lends to you're out searching things better than most. and
Maybe just stop at a store and try to find something.
stop.
I guess.
I work from home. Stop means leave the house.
But
There's no stopping. What's in my kitchen?
I mean, we always say, "Oh, we have the most
we have a
snacks ever."
lot.
This is it's too much. We might have to put stuff
This is
in
going to be a 3-hour show.
There's cereal with milk, 2 versions of it.
We're gonna. Oh God, is
I'm
it
gonna
two?
tell you, like, I got some stuff a while back, and
That
after
one
all this shit that
and
you guys have been
forgot
buying,
stuff
I
we
stopped. I was just like,
You
we're gonna
have to.
We're gonna have way too much.
I
shit,
even
man.
told Aaron there's still 2 things I'm searching for before the next show.
You're not gonna find them.
I'm not. No, I don't think they're. Well, one of them's not released. yet.
Save the Mountain Dew for the next show.
Yeah, because that's more of a Halloween type shit.
Shut up.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. So next week, mega snack show.
Yes.
It's always mega, but it's extra mega this time because I
Yes.
fucking went hard in the paint, as hard as humanly possible. We got
true.
some good stuff.
All
In
kinds
fact,
of
the
good
first
shit.
thing we're starting with is something Jordan's already had, but I'm making us all eat it.
Ugh,
So
I don't know why.
because I've never had it and I've been searching for it forever.
It's at Walmart.
I don't care. I couldn't
Literally
find
buy it in the checkout stand.
Dude,
So,
I saw,
for a year.
I saw one thing while I was up in Flag, and I was gonna grab it, and it was
Wait, did you go up to
smashed
Flagstaff?
to shit.
it. What was it?
They were pumpkin spice moon pies.
Oh, you motherfucker!
I hate you. So you shouldn't have told me.
That
what it
bums
was.
me out. Like
Me
I'm
too.
actually upset.
No, the one box that they had, dude, it was out of Big Lots. I
don't
guarantee
care.
I could find it out here.
Oh, okay.
It was wrecked. It looked
hear
like
that?
somebody caught it
Guaranteed.
under the fucking pallet jack, and
I
it was like on the
love moon
shelf.
pies.
I
And
know.
pumpkin
That's why
spice moon
I
pies?
looked everywhere to find them. I will probably try to hit a store down here.
We'll see.
To see if I can find some.
That bums me
All
out.
right. So
That bums me out because this is literally me the other day. I was just taking pictures of everything, pumpkin spice.
Why are you naked with moon pies?
No, this is me the other day. Wait, why is your dick out in this?
it's funny because we're all guys. We make the same dick joke every time. So whenever you're like, "Oh, that's misogyny," no,
I did
it's
buy that. I
literally.
did buy that.
Of course you did.
Of course I did.
It's not. It's
It's
just
just
how
guys
guys
being
talk.
guys.
All right. So
Oh,
Canceled.
That's what
We
I watched.
will- what?
I watched Neverending Story.
yeah, we know.
For the first time in like forever, and that movie's way
Oh,
shorter.
I thought
and
you were going
moves-
to say for the first time. I'm
No,
like, wait a
no,
minute.
no. First time in a long time. Made my kid watch it, and it feels
Please wrap
way
it up.
shorter than I remember it. Like everything moves so quickly in that movie.
Let's talk about Neverending Story while Aaron's holding the microphone.
90-minute movie. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry,
It's fine. You can talk about it next week.
He's like, my arms are getting
I'll
so
never talk
tired.
about that movie again.
Why? Atreyu. Anyways.
Bartax now.
All right. So we'll see you guys next week. I'm Aaron.
I'm Jordan.
And Scott.
It's worse with
It
this.
doesn't make sense.
This is I'll Watch It Later podcast.
It's almost midnight.
Well, big gulps, huh? See you later.
I'm
See
so
you later.
tired.
Do 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 do.